So welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and we are from the Sidelines. And as we do it every time this week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL just been played. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. We're well.
We're all? Excellent. Yeah. Highlights for the weekend, gentlemen. Oh, I know. Manly and the Roosters.
Well, no. I think, you know what? I've decided... I've decided...
Doesn't everyone really get excited when Brian decides something?
Can I point to a low light that people seem to be glossing over?
You can.
As something, not necessarily a highlight, but the Tigers were playing for their third consecutive spoon. Has anyone mentioned they got 60 points put on them?
Everybody has mentioned
discuss that.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. I get teams have bad games. But this is, and Benji's come out and said stuff like, "Oh, it's not the result, and we're building to a future." Dude, 3 spoons and 60 points.
Yeah, we will talk about it
later. All right,
okay. But you know what? In contrast to that, Shane Flanagan blasts St George, and even enough that it's on video. To me, that's what Benji's response should have been.
Yeah,
guys, this wasn't good enough. We're going to find some new players
He's
next year.
protecting his job.
Of course he is. But he shouldn't be.
No. Oh, anyway, I'm just frustrated.
I tipped the Knights to make the 8, and guess what?
Yeah, you only tipped them after I tipped them, though.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No.
You did your little homework.
I did my homework.
That's right. And then I said, what about the Knights? And you went, oh, yeah, the Knights.
No, it was the Dragons playing the Eels that I missed.
And yet you didn't tip in the tipping competition.
No. Because I've told you, I tip the team I think is going to win, and then I sit at home barracking for the team I want to win.
Sad man.
You're technically coming last now.
Doesn't matter. I'm out.
Well, it does because I'm second
I'm out
last
of the
anyway.
competition, so.
Yeah. I didn't win.
Who did win?
I don't know. I don't want to look at it. It wasn't me, though.
They all have code names anyway, so you don't know who they are.
You know what? Before we get started, I think we should do something, and I think we should acknowledge...
It's surprising us, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
I think we should acknowledge... I think we should acknowledge the winner, Robbie's Randoms, of our Supercoach competition.
No, we shouldn't.
Is that Robert Hayes?
Yeah.
Right.
Tazy. Yeah, but we shouldn't, because I got more points than him, but I didn't make the final.
Hang on. You're playing the reserve grade grand final.
Yeah.
And still lost.
No, that was the week before. Yeah,
No,
but I still got
lost.
I still got more points than him in that game. What kind of rigged system is this?
You're the one who organises it.
Just like his ex-coach.
Yeah.
It's got to be an investigation.
There has to be an investigation.
And Michael, the Green Bins, won the B grade comp. So well done to both of you. Thank you for participating. Thank you to everyone who participated. Okay, let's get on with the show.
All right.
Gentlemen, my thing's not working. Go back. There we go. Let's start off on Thursday night where the Melbourne Storm 50 beat the Broncos 12. You talked about the Tigers. I expected more out of the Broncos as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Well, certainly Kevy did.
Well, I think everybody
he thought they were an outside chance of making the 8 if everything.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago. They were never going to do it after. But still, I mean, they got 50 put on.
Yeah, and that was. Yeah, I don't know. The Broncos were not good. The Storm were clinical, and I think there are a few images from that game that are going to stick and really enforce that point. One is the Storm are up by, I don't think it was 40 something points.
Yep.
And was it Wishart who knocked the ball on or Munster who knocked the ball on? And Bellamy is blowing up Deluxe.
Yep.
Dude, you're 40 points up with like 10 minutes to go.
He had his head in his hands at the end of the game.
I know.
Like, he was
It wasn't good enough.
He was disappointed.
Yep.
After the game, the Broncos players, though, old boys' day, are just walking around, chatting, laughing.
Well, therein lies their problem, I think.
It's just, I don't... It's not about talent, because you look at that Broncos side, and they would make... I keep saying, like, we all love our clubs. If Reece Walsh come knocking and said, I'm out of contract, I want to play for your club, you wouldn't be saying no. You wouldn't be saying no to any of them. So it's not about talent, because they're a talented bunch.
I'll say it again. Billy Slater quoted it the other day. He said, hard work will beat talent any time that talent doesn't want to work hard. And look, it's true. The Melbourne Storm have got some star players. 32% of their salary cap is on 4 players.
Yep.
Which means they have to pay. They're not paying these other players big money, but they're getting incredible work rate out of them.
Well, and they seem to achieve that a lot more than any other club does.
Well, look, they're getting Hikamanu, who on potential is going to be a terrific player, and he'll fit right in. Bellamy will make him work hard, and he'll probably get the best out of him.
No, I agree. On potential, he is, but I don't think he's there at the moment. Let's go to the next game where Parramatta 60 beat the Tigers 26.
I was on the way to my game, so I didn't see this game. And
Tell me about this game, Steve. What do you want to talk about? Because it was woeful.
It was woeful.
And Parramatta weren't good either.
No.
That's the sad thing.
No.
They scored 60 without being flash.
Did you see Gutherson's dive?
I knew you were going to bring this up.
I wanted to know which part of the game it was so I could look it up, but I didn't hear where it was.
It was, I can't remember, second half or something.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk this week about players taking dives and staying down for penalties. I don't think you can. I don't think you can penalise a player who, in a tackle, has fell a smack across the face or a pressure on the back of the neck or something like that. Where you run into someone as gentle as a light breeze and then fall over as though you've broken 3 bones, there's got to be a penalty. There has to be
against the person.
Yeah, the ref should just go, mate, that's 10 in the bin. See you later. You're a clown.
But now you come back to intent.
Oh no, there was nothing in that.
No, this one.
That was the worst example. That was why I refused to watch soccer, because a light wind would blow these blokes over and break their bones.
I know.
And Gutho had a good game, and then he goes and does that.
I agree with you, except the next one won't be as obvious, won't look so intentful, and then we're penalising the same. You can't penalise them.
I reckon you can.
Point it out and make them look stupid. Point them out and say, "Listen,
you're embarrassing yourself."
Dud.
Embarrassing everyone. That was.
It was.
Actually, you know what? That wasn't only an embarrassment to him and the club. It was embarrassment to us as rugby league supporters.
Yeah, and never mind the fact that the ball had gone past him anyway.
Do you remember where? I'll go back and look at this. Whereabouts in the game?
Oh, I can't remember.
Was it late, early, middle? Anyway, if you know where Gutho falls over, can you post it on Facebook and I'll look it up.
Tigers very, very disappointing for a team that had a chance to make the 8. Sorry, not make the 8, but not win the wooden spoon. Yeah. And not only that, they beat Manly and South the last 2 weeks prior to that.
Beat South, that's tough.
They beat Manly as well, and Manly are a top 8 side.
We are the most inconsistent team in the comp.
Always got an excuse.
So it's not an excuse, that's a fact.
That is true.
Yeah, I would have liked Benju to come out and said, listen, that was disgraceful, and we're going to work doubly hard now in the off season because I think that was not defended.
It's something's not right. I don't know, and I don't know whether buying a player like Jerome Luai is going to solve their problems. Yeah, you know what? They might get beaten 34 to 60.
No, they got a few decent players coming in.
Yeah, but still, you can't... look, you know what? You come in dead last. This is what I don't understand. You come in dead last. We mentioned Ikamadu.
Yep.
He's leaving. Mate, I'd be saying, mate, just sit in reserve grade. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you don't care about us. We are dead last.
Yeah, he had an average game.
You know, like, bring in someone. Bring in the fresh guys. Bring in someone who wants to play for your jersey.
Yeah.
Anyway, very frustrating.
And Regan Campbell-Gillard's been told he can look elsewhere. We sort of knew that, but that's sad because I actually think he's always trying. Frankly, Sivo's gone too, isn't he?
They're trying to move him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Probably go to the Roosters, I expect. They
Yeah.
tend to buy wingers
We
and
don't need-
centres. And
Well, they buy whoever they want.
We don't need.
But they're reserve grade side. That's why they keep winning.
Roosters 36, South Sydney Rabbitohs 28.
Gentlemen,
Yeah, it
Last
was,
one.
it was 36-10. I mean, in the end, it was
No, it
36-10.
wasn't.
And,
It was
and, we took
36-28.
and we took the foot off the pedal.
Or
Tom,
you
I hate to
didn't.
disagree with you. That the score on the official NRL site is 28-36.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
that.
not
I know.
10.
But it doesn't reflect the game.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I got
the
to
game.
say, if I was a Roosters supporter, I'd be very disappointed.
I was disappointed on the night. I tell you when I was there.
Because you know what, they had that. They should have run away with that. And at 36-10 with I think
Sure.
15 minutes to go or something like that.
Well, the coach also took some players off. I think too. I think he took some players
Yeah,
out.
but come on.
I was willing the bunnies home. I'm telling you, 5
So
minutes
was
to
I.
go. I wanted that.
2 tries were scored between Satili Tupanua and Nafahu White, and they were soft as butter. Honestly,
Yeah.
they were terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, there's no doubt they can score lots of points, but there's plenty of issues with their defence.
I think the Roosters have a big defensive problem.
Well, I think that's been a problem all season. But what do you do? I mean, you know, I back my team, and that's where they're at. And you know, one thing I think was good was they actually covered well for the injuries. I thought Sandon Smith. I mean, you can't replace who you lost, but Sandon Smith had a really serviceable game. He played on a couple of nice tries.
Why are you ringing me?
I don't know, accident. Mark Nwanga Tuasi, his leap into the air was sensational, and I thought he was good. He had a really really good game, and the crazy thing I don't understand is they've put Jennings in as 18th man. What's this guy?
Yeah,
You know, chopped liver. He should be at least the 18th man. Anyway.
so he's not in the team this week.
He's on the reserve bench.
Okay.
He's on the reserves. But that could very, very well change. I think Jennings has been disappointing.
So from Bunny's point of view, I mean, they had nothing to play for. They a bit of pride in the jersey, and I thought they did that. They've gone without so many players all year, and even this one they lost Jack Whiten as well. So,
Sure.
but you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I'm glad the season's over. It's
Tommy
done.
Burgess scores a try, kicks a goal.
That was the worst kick I've ever
Hey,
seen.
did he score 2
Did that
points
go?
with it? Did he kick it?
Correct. That's right.
Mate,
Did he kick it?
He did.
let me just say, if you guys had scored, you would have been ruining your goal kicking in that last 5 minutes.
Tommy Burgess can go to the next club and say, "Listen, I want another 100,000 because I'm also a goal kicker with a 100% record."
Yeah,
100%.
He could, and I'd laugh at him.
Yeah, don't show him, but yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And look, I'm sorry to see Cookie and Burgess and Tom
Burgess
go,
go.
but
Yeah.
move on. That's what happens. Okay, let's go to Raiders 26, St George Illawarra 24. St George leading at 24-10, if I remember rightly.
Corey
1 point.
Horsburgh wins the game.
Man, what the heck was that?
Hey, that was
That was just a...
like Tommy's goal
like-
kick.
it was a miracle.
That was a clever little kick.
It was
ahead.
a miracle.
I don't know whether I'd call it clever.
Did he
Well,
score
look-
the try? Yes,
Well, look,
he did.
it was a speculator. He backed himself to try and chip and chase, and as it turned out, the ball landed in his hand. I mean,
It didn't.
what do you
What?
do? What do you
Far
do?
out.
You know,
No, he was.
Straight
I hope he's bought a lotto ticket because that was amazing. That was
yes.
I mean, St George once again had, they faltered a few times this year at the end of the game, and they've done it once again. They only had to win this game.
Yeah.
They stopped scoring after 19 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, they were piling on the
They were
points. at
killing it.
first. Yeah.
It was like this could have been anything. This could have been 60 points.
Yeah.
And then they decided to not play football
Wouldn't want
anymore.
to be Flano. Tell you. I wouldn't want to be in the change room with Flano.
I mean, Lomax's first try was spectacular.
Lomax.
He didn't score.
Yeah, he did.
Kick. No, Eisenhuth, Little, Sewer, and King Tongia.
Oh, who was the one who cooked it from?
I can't
I
remember.
can't remember who it was.
I
I
don't
thought it
know.
was
I
Lomax,
don't
but anyway.
remember.
Eisenhuth scored in the first minute.
He's probably the one I'm thinking of then. Because they scored
Yeah.
really... I think I did. I think Lomax scored it, and passed it in, and they
Yeah,
scored in the first minute.
I must admit, I might have missed the first minute of that game and didn't see that try. Anyway,
You guys have got to pay more attention to this.
why? This was a nothing game. The best.
Well, no, it was for 8th spot.
This was a nothing game.
Okay, Raiders.
Yeah,
Season's
they won.
over.
Not for the Raiders, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, sorry, yes, it is.
What is
Newcastle
he talking
coming.
about?
I don't know.
Does he know? He said we should pay more attention, Tom. We really should.
All that stuff's coming from his knee.
I'm
All the toxins
drugs
from
because
his
of my
knee
knee.
are
What
in
am I
his
going to say?
brain.
Raiders.
Season's over.
Season's over.
Okay.
Unless they're in the 8 that we didn't know about.
North Queensland 44, Bulldogs 6.
Wow. Did not see that.
No.
Oh,
The Cowboys, honestly, they have so much talent, and they just, I don't know what it is. I tell you what, if they win next week significantly, I will back them to go a long way, because they've
Cowboys,
got enough talent. They've got enough talent to go a long way. in
I
this
think the Cowboys
competition.
can hurt people.
Yeah, they're an exciting
But
team
the
when they're
problem
on.
is they're not consistent.
No. They've had a couple of decent games of late.
Yep.
The Dogs were really disappointing. I mean, you wonder whether the air's gone out of the bag, you know.
yeah,
with
when
the Dogs.
so when Manly beat them a couple of weeks ago, I made the comment that they're already clocked off. They've made the 8. They didn't get the spoon. They didn't finish. You know.
Yep.
Have they already in their minds gone?
Played their grand final.
Our season, we've succeeded. You know, you get a coach like Bellamy that drives his players. You know, their success is nothing other than a grand final win.
That's right.
Well, he's never lost. He's never lost a round one game. That says everything.
Yeah.
About preparedness, doesn't it?
You know, and maybe I think the Bulldogs are just going, yeah, we did it. We made the 8.
We've achieved. We've achieved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Cows were good.
Cows were
Unfortunately.
very good. Panthers 18, Titans 12.
I got home with 20 minutes to go, and I'm going, go you Titans.
Why? Why would you want? You're a horrid man to think that about the poor old premiers. Going for a Queensland club.
They were average.
They were.
I know. Obviously, I had a lot riding on this game. A home semi.
So, they were average.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bulldogs were average.
Yep.
Cowboys were good-ish.
Yep.
Melbourne weren't too bad. Melbourne were
pretty good.
Roosters
Were average.
were average. This is looking like a really exciting semi-final race.
Well, I was just thinking that you started and I went, yeah, Panthers were average, Roosters were average.
Yeah.
Then we got Storm were really good.
Yeah.
The Sharks had no opportunity to be average.
No. And I've got to say, probably the Sharks were the best team of the weekend. Speaking of which, great segue. Four Sands Park. Sharks 40.
Yeah. Yeah, he says that, but I know it's tongue in cheek now. I was once thinking, oh man, all these people have a point. But no one has said anything at all about the ground for the last 18 months except for Steve.
So how was the atmosphere?
It was dynamic. It
Well, it would have been dynamic at kickoff. What was it like at the end?
let's just talk about the beginning of the game. No, look, it's. I was going to say, like, as most people would know, I am a ticketed member, but the club's been selling out every game, and I can't get tickets. And so I managed to get tickets, and it was a fantastic atmosphere.
Yeah.
The place was absolutely rocking. So I thought it was marvelous, and with a disappointing result. It's my wife.
40-12. Oh,
You're going to blame your wife?
I am.
Ooh,
I'm going to blame
I
my
hope
wife.
You're watching tonight.
Does she watch it?
Okay.
She
Sleeping on the couch.
She occasionally comes to games with me. She's never seen them win. The one game she's seen them win was the grand final.
Well,
the 40-0 grand final. That was the only one.
If you do the sums here, she goes to games they don't win, but she doesn't go very often. Well, what do you reckon that is?
I'm not inviting her. Oh, hang on, we're going this weekend. Oh no. Look. You talk about the Cowboys. I think Manly have the talent to win the comp, but they've got to show up.
Look, at their best,
They've got to show up.
At their best, they do. No. The problem is that you can't guess.
We're beating the Storm. We're beating the Roosters. We're beating the Panthers. We're beating the Dogs. We're beating them all. We're beating the Cows. We've beaten them all.
Oh, hang on,
But we can't do it continually.
But you forgot yourself. You've beaten yourself.
Oh, just...
They
On a
beat
number of-
themselves
beat
on
themselves
every
on a number
second
of
week.
times.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I don't... I was watching this game and I was thinking, how many times is Nico Hines going to run the ball and have an inside runner come back across the green? Oh, look, they scored again. How many times is Nico Hines going to run the ball? Oh, they scored again with an inside ball. Like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah. I felt like if I had Anthony Seibold's number, I would have, mate,
Yeah.
tell him to watch the inside ball.
Yeah. Learn a lesson.
It was, every try was the same. They didn't have to do anything special. You know,
Very sure that Bellamy will be, he'll be
well,
on top of that.
I can tell you, they're not going to try that trick with the Storm and win.
No.
Yeah, they out-enthused, they outmatched, they out-muscled. It was just sad.
Do you notice that this round of football there wasn't as many sin bins as there were the last couple of weeks?
Yep.
Even though there should have been one in that game.
Why is that? I wonder.
I don't know. Annesley listened to us when we called him a fool last week or the week before.
Well, I didn't call him a fool.
I did.
Well, maybe he listened to you then.
And maybe he was one of our hundreds of viewers.
Could be.
Thousands, thank you very much.
He might use our show as
Barometer?
well,
the pub test?
We're the pub test, that's right.
I meant actually as
Actually, maybe we should change our
information-free
name to
show.
the pub test.
Ooh, I'd like that. We could sit here drinking all night. Anyway.
McDonald Jones Stadium, Newcastle Knights 14, Dolphins 6. I was disappointed for the Dolphins. I really wanted to see him get up.
I
It's a
didn't.
Queensland team.
Yeah. He
Listen,
loves
you know what?
Queensland. He loves
I
Wayne.
thought about this
Oh my
morning
goodness, here
as
we
I'm
go.
thinking about the show,
Here we go.
and I thought, you know what? Every
Right.
He's
week you
drug
say to
induced
me,
haze.
No,
He's drug induced haze, yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Every week you say
Yeah.
to me, they're a Queensland team. They're a Queensland. How can you support them? Tell me, gentlemen, how many Queenslanders are in each of your teams?
We've got one.
And he's the main player. How many? Have you got?
One or two.
And he's the main player. You guys both revolve. Your whole team revolves around Queenslanders.
That's a real stretch.
Excuse
That's
me,
a real
our
stretch.
team revolves around Tom, who is from New South Wales. That is obvious from this scoreline.
Excuse me. Did Tom play the other night?
Who's Yink? No, that's why we lost.
And Cherry Evans plays for who?
Yeah, but he didn't win us the game. If
Doesn't
Tom was
matter.
playing an upright, he would have won us the game.
Your game.
That's
your,
a really
both,
that's a really weak argument.
both
It
of
is a
your
weak
teams
game.
revolve
Really
around
weak game.
Queensland.
That was so average. That's the best you can do.
Comment, please. Thank you. Weak argument.
Oh,
They have
Steve,
no idea.
you
Anyway,
are
I
so
didn't
funny.
know.
Anyway,
to make
I
the
wanted
eight,
to see.
and they did.
I wanted to see the Dolphins get up.
What do we think of the obstruction that Wayne's blown up about? I'm curious to get your thoughts, Steve.
The moment I saw it, the first replay I saw, I said that'll be pulled back.
Mm.
And then I looked at it a few more times. And I thought I can understand his argument, but no, I still think
And then he said, "Who's the coach again?"
no.
Oh no, don't
Yeah.
agree with that.
No. I'm saying that I think it's still an obstruction.
Yeah.
But I do have a problem with the fact that even though when a player turns into tackle, they still see it as an obstruction. And that's wrong.
Yeah.
Because he was on the inside shoulder
Yeah.
of the player who turned to him. Just because the other player coming across was on the outside shoulder and ran into them,
Well, that's right. They've got these.
that's the challenge.
They've got these clear-cut rules about inside, outside shoulder coming
Correct.
across and through, and usually, although I think that's usually poor defensive reads,
Yeah,
the rule's obvious. That one you had to go. Ooh.
yeah, that's why I wasn't sure about it because the player who had on the outside shoulder actually ran into the player who was on the Dolphins player and the defender who had turned into tackling. So he actually it was the Newcastle player who obstructed him technically.
Yep.
Because if he had just been allowed to run through, it wouldn't have been an issue. So it technically, it was a tough one.
It was a tough one. Yeah, I think I understand, but if you were Annesley, see, this is where Graham Annesley gets it wrong.
And I'd prefer him to come out and say exactly what I just said.
I would rather him have just come out and said, you know what, that was a judgment call by the bunker.
Yeah, and we'll go with it.
Yeah.
Pong had a blinder.
Yeah.
He was tremendous.
Jeez, he's hit form.
Yeah. Do you think they'll go anywhere?
No.
I think they'll struggle against the Cowboys this week.
Yeah. No, they'll beat the Cows.
Do you want to, gentlemen? Do you want to do the ladder?
Sure.
Is there any point?
Let's go the 8. Storm, Panthers, Roosters, Sharks, Cows, Dogs, Eagles, Knights. Unfortunately, the Raiders missed out on for and against. Dolphins, Dragons, Broncos, Warriors, Titans, Eels, Rabbitohs, Tigers.
It's got to be disappointing, Steve, finishing 16th.
All right. Well, that really brings us to an end since the season's now over. So that's 2024 all done and dusted. There's nothing else happening from here on in.
Wow.
It's
They
boring from here on
They
in.
finished below Parramatta.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. And if it hadn't been for the lowly Tigers, they would have finished with a wooden spoon.
I know. Tell me about it.
Hey, I'm out of it from here. I'm done.
You're the host.
I'm shutting down from here.
Come on, host with the most. Let's talk about the finals. Because, Steve, we're going to be very... Steve?
Yes.
Tom and I are going to be very biased from this point in.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to be
So
able
the
to
last
stop
27
ourselves.
weeks you haven't been biased?
Of course not.
No, we've been even-handed and fair.
That's right.
Wow. You both couldn't even spell even-handed and fair.
Finals is a different animal.
Friday night, the 13th. Friday the 13th.
Omen.
Panthers and the Roosters.
Nathan's back.
Yep.
Makes the job all that more difficult.
Yeah, you have a look at that team. That's a red hot Panthers team.
Who haven't been travelling very well, to be honest.
I think they'll be up for this one.
So are the Roosters, I think.
No, I think.
Well, the hoodoo is what the hoodoo's what's going to get the
no,
Roosters.
yeah, I don't believe in those things.
Well, the reality is
no, but
they haven't beaten them in nine meetings.
Yeah, but it's irrelevant.
You reckon?
Yes.
I think they'll be up for it.
Yeah,
No.
look, I mean, history is one thing, but the team you play with this Friday is not the team you played with last time or the year before that.
I know, it's weaker.
Well, yes, which is why, which is honestly why I don't think the Roosters have a chance. But
No, I don't know.
Most people don't think so.
No.
But I know it's going to be an uphill battle, but got to back my boys.
see, the Roosters, for me to have thought they could do this, needed to go on with last week's game and score 50 on the Bunnies.
Yeah, look, at the time of the game, I was pretty heartbroken that we'd let the Rabbitohs get so close. But when I listened to a few opinions and watched the game back and things, I thought, yeah, look, I can live with that. It was the last round. They were probably looking ahead. They're probably thinking, and he took a few players off, and I'm not that concerned about it.
I say my team's inconsistent and it's an excuse. Yeah, it was okay. Took players off. We deserved to lose by that much.
We didn't lose. We didn't lose.
Oh my goodness! You reckon I make excuses? Anyway,
Yes.
No, I wasn't making excuses.
Brian, go.
Panthers by I reckon 2 tries.
Which you said is nothing these days.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't
So
think.
by a dozen.
Yeah,
Tom,
Roosters in a close one.
couple of points?
4 to 6 maybe.
Yeah, okay. I'm going. I think Panthers by at least 10 to 12. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So we're all picking a close game.
Well, he's a lot closer than we are.
Yeah, well, I'm invested.
Storm and the Sharks at Amy.
If it hadn't been at Amy, I think I would have given the Sharks a red hot go on this. But I think it's the graveyard. You see the fans holding up signs all the time, and it's true. It's a graveyard. It's very hard to win there.
I don't know. The Sharks had knocked them over the last time they played down there.
Yeah, I know they did. There's no guarantee. The Storm were really clinical the other day. I think the fact that Bellamy is ropeable, that they can't get 100% of their plays right, means they'll be. And then you can see what's at stake. He wants a preliminary final, as to the Sharks, but he'll put extra effort into this week.
Can I just go back to the Panthers game for a minute?
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
What are you thinking about the fact it's a blue bet? Well, I know we have this conversation every year.
Yeah.
My rule is, top 4, the top 2 get the home. Well, the top 2 and the 5 and the 6 get home ground advantage the first week, and after that it's neutral. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Like you've got your benefit by being on top. After round 1 of the finals, it should be neutral.
You'll fit 20,000 into this, and I reckon if you moved it elsewhere, you get 40.
Mm.
Even the combat.
Well,
Yep.
I must admit, that's the silver lining of Manly losing. I'm now going to the game.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
could
way I
get
would
to
have
a
got.
game.
There's no way I would have got tickets if the home semi was at Brookie.
Yeah. I mean, the argument is that, and it always seems to benefit the Storm because they do so well and they earn the right. But
That's right.
they generally get to play 2 finals in Melbourne, which I think is ultimately an unfair advantage. And the argument is the Storm fans won't travel.
But if
to
the
a neutral
Roosters
venue.
finish first and they win the first game, they would have 2 games at home as
at
well.
home. Yeah,
Well,
I'm okay with them having home games.
Yeah.
Man, you fight all year for that minor premiership.
Yeah, but
And
Let
that's
them
why I
have
think
it.
the first round, fair enough.
Let
All
them
right.
have it.
Okay, Melbourne Storm or Sharks?
Storm.
Storm.
By how much?
I think the Storm will be clinical. I think it will be a good 20 points.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
8.
don't disagree.
I'm going
You think
8.
it's a close one?
Going
Okay.
8. Yeah.
North Queensland and Newcastle at Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys will win this one, I think.
Yeah, I'm on the Knights. The only thing of a little piece of doubt in my mind is that the Cows are at home.
The Cows scored 44 points.
Yep.
The Knights scored 14 points, and they're not scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think in the end, I think it's going to be the points that are scored for. It's not going to be the
Well,
defense.
hang on.
It's going to be
That's
the
the
attack.
same as saying the Dolphins last week scored 44 against the Broncos and they could only score 6 against the Knights. Or whatever it was. Yeah, like...
I think the Cowboys can score lots of points. They can't defend. As long as they keep the points going, they'll be
Yeah,
the
I
Knights.
don't know. They're,
Brian, Knights by how many?
ooh, it'll be close. 8.
Tom, Cows by how many?
I'm Cows by 20. That's all right.
Yeah, no,
you,
I
you
don't-
have a right
I
to
don't-
be wrong.
I don't disagree with that.
I was going to say...
Again.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Again, I think the Knights, the Cowboys will do it by 20 as well.
See? There you go.
And
There you
Acor Stadium, which Brian calls soulless, but
It
is now
is
is
soulless. Oh my goodness. It's
now he's
such
desperate
a
to get
boring
tickets for.
Stadium. Such a boring
desperate
stadium.
to get tickets
Gee
for,
whiz,
though, aren't
even
you?
money here.
Dogs and
Can't get
Sea
split.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Tom's playing.
Tom's back.
Well, he'll be needled. He's not back. He'll be
Yeah.
needled. He's playing.
How long would he play for?
He will play for 80 minutes. He will score 2 tries and set 3 up and run for 200 metres.
No, that isn't going to happen.
Oh,
He will
let's
have
see.
He'll have some influence in the game, but I don't think he's not going to be firing all cylinders.
Well, it's,
Bert-
only it's a shoulder injury, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Burton's back.
He's by the way, it's his left shoulder.
Yeah.
He's been needling his right shoulder all year.
Wow.
So now he's needling them both. That's all right. He was
So
Fine.
Burton's back. Was Kickout out last week?
No, he was
No.
in.
Okay. He won the club award too, by the way.
No, okay.
Yeah. So Burton's back, and Adokar will be out.
Yes.
Stood himself down, and Cherry will be back. There are a couple of significant ins, but I think the Dogs are done. I think the Sea Eagles could play like crap and still beat the Dogs this week, and very likely will.
Sea Eagles by how many?
I reckon easy 20.
Oh, I know.
Sea Eagles by how many?
2 tries.
Draw.
12.
Just so you know, the last 2 games, the Dogs have had like 88 points scored against them.
78.
78. Yeah, like I don't think I think they're done. I think they're cooked.
I'm going Dogs.
He's a hater.
He is a hater. I thought he was going to be the unbiased one, but apparently he can't get it out of
Well,
his
hang
system.
on. If I'd gone Manly, you'd be saying I'm biased in that.
No, I
sense.
wouldn't be
No,
saying
you
you were
wouldn't be,
biased.
no.
I would be saying that you are honest.
Oh dear. All right.
Anything intelligent to add, Steve?
No,
Your season's over.
I know.
So as we are now unable to say anything coherent when it comes to the finals, who's your tip for the final, Steve?
For the grand final,
Yeah.
Melbourne and probably Panthers.
And who would be your dark horse?
Cowboys.
Interesting. All right, very good. Steve obviously has nothing intelligent to say either.
What do I care? Season's over. I'm done. I don't even want to do the show anymore. Okay.
I just want to say thank you to Zach for the poster for Steve. The
oh yes, thank you, Zach. I loved it. Hang on, can I reach it?
Yep, the Ron Coote poster.
Ron Coote.
I didn't throw darts at it or anything at all. I just left it.
He's a legend. How could you throw darts at him?
Because I asked Tom to get one and he didn't get it.
I was too wrapped up in the game.
Thank you, Zach. You what?
I was too wrapped up in the game.
Too wrapped up in the game.
No,
Yes.
appreciate it, mate. Thank you. That's it.
All right. Anything intelligent when the show was?
That was it.
That was it, Tom?
No.
Jeez. Great show, this one. If you made it to the end, I'd be very surprised tonight.
You would have been underwhelmed.
We are. Okay, thank you for watching. This is Tom, Brian and Stephen. We are from the Sidelines, and we'll see you all again next week. See you later.
See
Bye-bye.
ya.
See ya.